Okay, this is Sherman D. John. We're here with Jenny Weinblum, Vice President Disney Live Entertainment at the Walt Disney Theater aboard the Disney Treasure. We're going to talk about all the entertainment options on board. Jenny, are you ready to jump in?
Absolutely.
All right, and this is Insider Travel Report. So Jenny, tell us about the overall entertainment on board. Obviously, Disney Cruises, big on entertainment. Tell us how you thought about creating entertainment for this ship in particular.
Absolutely. The way I look at our Disney Cruise Line ships is that this is a fleet of floating performing arts complexes, which is to say we have a main stage theater, we also have cabarets, black box stages, and like any responsible artistic director of a performing arts complex in the year 2024, I'm also thinking about how do we program our stairwells? How do we program our lobby? How do we turn every space on this ship into a home for great storytelling and great entertainment, which is what Walt's vision always was for the parks. That he always thought of Disneyland as an enormous stage. That's why he called us all cast members. So it's only natural to think about the ship in the exact same way. So there's entertainment everywhere, both our Broadway-style musicals here in the Walt Disney Theater, like The Tale of Moana, but also our deck shows, which are typically kind of high-energy music and dance-driven shows. It's also where our fireworks at sea happen on our pirate night, but also the entertainment in Sarabi, which is our nightclub lounge venue where we have more adult-oriented programming, like a new show that I absolutely love, Choose Wisely, an Indiana Jones interactive comedy adventure. And the Grand Hall, which is also an entertainment space where Coriander and Sage, the same characters who deliver Choose Wisely, also perform Tales from the Lamp, their interpretation of Aladdin, and a number of other shows. And I'm barely scratching the surface. There are shows everywhere, all over this ship. And they're all exciting and fresh, and they feel relevant to the theme of this ship, which is adventure.
So in terms of Disney Treasure obviously has a theme of adventure.
Yeah.
How does that play into the entertainment that you made on board?
Absolutely. When we're thinking about how we want to program an individual ship and what are the right shows for that ship, we're always thinking about a lot of things. One of them is the ship's theme. I mean, obviously, Moana is the ultimate tale of adventure. Of course, we wanted to bring that to life here. But also Aladdin, which is an enormous motif everywhere throughout the ship. And we were thinking about adventure both through the lens of truly adventurous narratives, stories, characters on the hero's journey, and also stories that are an encounter with the unknown. And of course, Adventureland within our parks as well. So bringing those themes to life. But that's not the only thing that drives how we program our entertainment. We're always at Disney Live Entertainment thinking about what are the stories in the Disney canon that really sing. You think about the classic Menken and Ashman Disney films, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Little Mermaid. They were all Broadway musicals that just happened to be animated films. And so of course they became Broadway musicals. I mean, similarly, that's how Lin-Manuel Miranda writes for Disney as well. That's how the Lopez's write for Disney. You know, our great Disney songwriters today are theater makers. And we look at those films and we go, oh, I see the musical structure here in this film. I see how we could bring this story to life on stage. And so we're always thinking about what are those stories that are just a natural fit for the stage, and then pairing them with the right theme of a ship, with the right literal spatial environment where we can bring it to life, and also being thoughtful about what's the right pairing of shows. Since our cast performs in repertory with the same cast performing Tale of Moana, Beauty and the Beast, Seize the Adventure, and all of our other shows ship-wide, we're always thinking about can a singular cast carry all these different stories? Can we go into all these different worlds with them? Something I find particularly moving and lovely about our production of Beauty and the Beast here on the Disney Treasure is that because it's the very same cast performing Beauty and the Beast as the Tale of Moana, Belle's little French village looks an awful lot like the island of Montanui. I find that actually very touching.
Yeah, and I think one of the most stirring performances, Disney Tale of Moana, first adaptation on a cruise ship.
not just first adaptation on a cruise ship, it's the first ever stage adaptation of Moana.
Thank you for pointing that out. So first adaptation anywhere. How did you go about adapting that movie for a live stage performance? It was really the set design, the singing, just all of it was very captivating.
Yeah.
How did you go about adapting the movie for this venue?
That development process is really about stripping the animated film down to its essence, whatever that film is. Really thinking about what is it that we love about this story. There may be moments in an animated film that don't translate to the stage, that are still fun, iconic moments that we love, but that we say, you know what, in this adaptation, this doesn't have a place here. But we look at, what is the heart of the story? Who are the characters that we have an intense relationship with? What's the music? And mostly, what's the world of this story that we want to bring to life? With The Tale of Moana, something I really love about this show is it's actually very tactile and analog. There's some incredible theatrical technology at play here. Our automation systems alone are incredibly impressive. But for Moana, more so than any other show in the fleet, we really looked at, we want to tell the story in a way that feels rooted in craft, because that feels more authentic to Hawaii and the Pacific Islands. We loved the thought of the story being narrated by Grandma Tala and bringing in a sense of tradition, a sense of almost ritual to the proceedings, where we feel like the story has been told countless times before and will be told countless times again.
Yeah, the boat is right behind you.
Absolutely, yes, Moana's canoe. But something we thought about a lot was, should that canoe be automated and move as if by magic? No. The canoe should be propelled by our dancers who play the water, because after all, the water is what carries the boat. And our choreographer, Peter Rockford Espiritu, who's one of the leading voices in the Hawaiian and Pacific Island dance community, he really drove the discovery of what would be the visual language of Moana on the stage. How do we take traditions of Pacific Island dance, which is very much rooted in what does it mean to become water, and take that into this adaptation. But also our puppetry. So we worked with Michael Curry Designs to develop our puppets in Moana, both our incredible Te Fiti, who you see here, as well as our shadow puppets, and on Tamatoa, all the other puppets in the show. And Michael Curry Designs created, among other things, the iconic puppets from The Lion King on Broadway. They know a thing or two about taking a visually distinctive Disney animated film and finding its unique theatrical language for the stage. There's an enormous puppetry tradition from the Pacific Islands that we look to for reference here as we created the stage adaptation, to really find what's the texture of this story on stage and how does it move.
It was nothing short of captivating. So I think you managed to adapt it really well.
Thank you.
You have a couple other performances at the Walt Disney Theater.
We do.
That complement really nicely with the dinner offerings. The dinner and a show is obviously a big part of Disney cruises. Just walk me through really quickly the other performances that you have in this space.
Absolutely. So in the Walt Disney Theater, we have 3 Broadway-style shows. Seize the Adventure, which is our short-form welcome musical that stars Goofy as he goes onto a journey on the open water where he meets a multitude of characters, and we hear great iconic Disney songs. Super, super fun show for guests of all ages. We have The Tale of Moana, and also our award-winning adaptation of Beauty and the Beast, which is adapted from the Disney Dream, where it plays today. And it was actually directed by Conor Gallagher, the same director as The Tale of Moana. So it really fits beautifully in conversation with this show.
And the dinners themselves have a performance element to them as well. How do you think about pairing entertainment with the menu, with the dining experience? Absolutely.
Plaza de Coco is our entertainment restaurant on the ship, though there are moments of entertainment in Worlds of Marvel as well. You get a little break in 1923. But Plaza de Coco, we were really inspired creating a theatrical story about Miguel and the Rivera family that we could bring to life in a restaurant space. our Plaza de Coco, we have 2 shows in Plaza de Coco, because guests dine in the restaurant twice. The night 1 show finds Miguel and his family preparing for Dia de los Muertos, and on night 2, they're celebrating Dia de los Muertos with us. Night 2 is a deeply moving show, and it was really a conversation for us. How do we take the guests on a journey while they're eating their dinner that honors the traditions of Dia de los Muertos, honors this incredibly beautiful and emotionally rich film, and feels joyful and inspiring while also acknowledging death. And I think something that's been really interesting about adapting Coco and adapting Moana as live entertainment is actually both of these stories acknowledge death in a pretty significant way. These are stories that are about how the individual connects with their community and with a sense of history, a sense of tradition and heritage, both when they bristle against that tradition and when they embrace that tradition. And we really find that our Plaza de Coco show and Tale of Moana exist in conversation with one another. And I am really touched to get to take our guests on these journeys.
It's obviously put a lot of thought into these performances and what they mean. Shifting over to a different venue, Sarabi, 2-story theater, decks 4 and 5. What kind of performances will be held there and what kind of activities will be held there?
So Sarabi is a family lounge by day and adult nightlife venue by night. So a lot of different programs happen in Sarabi. I love this venue. I think it's a really, really fun space. You can see anything from family game shows, Villains Game Night, which is our really fun kind of Hollywood Squares-esque game show featuring iconic Disney villains. It's where we play Match Your Mate, all these great programs that we love. But at night, one of the things the space becomes is Sarabi Supper Club. That's where our show, Choose Wisely, an Indiana Jones interactive comedy adventure takes place. This is a world premiere on the Disney Treasure. We've never done anything like this on any of our ships or any of our parks. It's totally different. It is a madcap, slapstick, adults only adventure through all 5 Indiana Jones movies in the vein of, it feels a little Saturday Night Live, a little Monty Python, a lot complete works of William Shakespeare abridged. And it's just crazy, high energy fun. And honestly, it couldn't be more different than The Tale of Moana and Plaza de Coco, but those 3 are my 3 favorite shows on board this ship. Sarabi, though, it's where you go for whether it's those family interactive activities, whether it's for your sophisticated adult night out with Choose Wisely, whether it's for late night dance parties, it is the place to be.
Awesome. And I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about some of the main hubs on the ship.
Yeah.
The Grand Hall, Deck 11, 2 really interesting spaces that host a lot of really lively entertainment.
They do.
Walk me through really quickly those 2 spaces and what you're going to have there as well.
The Grand Hall is really our kind of anchor to this entire ship. It's a beautiful space themed after Aladdin, and it's where a lot of different programs take place from an entertainment standpoint. Both some of our kind of Disney Cruise Line classics like Jack's Incredible Diaper Dash take place in the Grand Hall, but a lot of new programs take place there, like our Jungle Cruise interactive skipper adventure, which is probably not exactly the name of that program, but it's close enough. But really, really fun family interactive activity where we get to be guests on board the Jungle Cruise with Coriander and Sage, who are the same characters who lead Choose Wisely in Sarabi as they take us on a madcap journey as skippers on the Jungle Cruise. So Coriander and Sage are 2 original characters developed by our show director, Ben Schrader, and they really anchor us in the Grand Hall. In the Grand Hall, they tell stories from all throughout the larger Disney canon. They perform Tales from the Lamp, which is their hilarious adaptation of Aladdin. But the Grand Hall is really Coriander and Sage's home, and it's a great place to hang out. And then finally, the deck stage is where all of our fun, high-energy music and dance-driven shows take place. It's also where Pirate Night culminates in our iconic fireworks at sea. It's a great place for great high-energy shows.
Jenny, is there anything else folks should know? It seems like you have a lot on board for people to enjoy.
We do indeed.
good thing we have a 7-day cruise to experience it all.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else people should know about entertainment on board?
You know, we love the Disney Treasure, and we're so proud of all of our entertainment offerings on board, and hope that you'll sail with us soon.
Jenny, thank you so much. This is Sherman D. John, and this is Insider Travel Report.